We back with another daily reflection on the Daily Vedantic. And today's reflection is on, the misconception we have around discipline. And specifically, it's on when we know what we should do, how hard it can still feel to do that. That's the conventional view on discipline, is knowing it and doing it are two different things. But what I would propose to you is that you don't know why to do a certain thing, even if you know the how. You don't know the why if it feels like it still requires so much effort. In fact, put simply, if your discipline is led by understanding, then it barely requires any effort at all. What do I mean by that? For example, if you knew that investing in the health of your body, let's say an hour each day, would save you immense pain and frustration later in life, maybe save you a decade of unnecessary pain and frustration. That hour each day is it's pure algebra. It's going to actually save you pain and frustration. To invest a little bit in what might feel like pain and frustration in the beginning. You keep doing it, you start to notice, this isn't just for saving me pain and frustration when I'm in my 70s. I feel amazing today at 31, 23, 53. It might take about 6 weeks, but you start to realize the benefits right up front. How you feel later that day. How you feel 20 minutes after a great workout. That discipline switches from this is short-term pain or short-term frustration to then feeling like, all right, this is part of just proper hygiene. And then it switches to, and I promise you, if you don't have this yet, it is inevitable that it then switches to joy. As we're told in the 18th chapter of the Gita in this beautiful philosophy, what is like poison in the beginning is like nectar in the end. What is like nectar in the beginning is like poison in the end. That's keeping your body fit. That's just one example of a discipline one might take up. Or maybe it's waking up early in the morning for reflection. In our weekly and monthly gatherings here in LA, it's a common topic within the Venice Vedanta Club of people talking about how they're starting to wake up earlier and earlier, but waking up at 4:30 or 5 just seems impossible to them. And it seemed impossible to me. I was a night owl through and through. In fact, I have the gene, according to 23andMe, for being a night owl. That actually only means that you wake up around, I think it's like 8:23 is the upper end of that range. There is no genetic code for people waking up at 11. That's just indulgence masked as someone saying, well, I'm a night owl. But the actual biology of it says that even night owls get to bed around midnight and wake up around 8 in the morning. So when you're pushing it way beyond that, chances are it's not some personality trait or genetic trait you have. It's probably just good old pure indulgence. But the idea of waking up at 4:30 seemed just laughable. Seemed just like, okay, I'm on board with so many of these other aspects of this philosophy, but that's not for me. And that is absolutely okay. This is a buffet where you really can and should leave things that just don't appeal to you. But when this topic comes up in Venice Vedanta Club, it feels like there's so much effort involved in what looks like to the outside a rigorous discipline. But it only takes a few mornings, not even the 6 weeks it could take for a workout regimen. It only takes a few mornings before you just start to realize the benefits. Before you start to associate the upside instead of some perceived cost or some perceived effort involved. What happens is, and this is the important part, what happens when you are led by understanding, the discipline feels more and more each day, each week, it starts to feel effortless. That session at the gym, that really hard run, or that ability to quell the mind and get into a reflective state early in the morning hours before everyone else has woken up becomes like a best friend that you want to see. How much discipline does it take to see your best friend? What is like poison in the beginning ends up being like nectar just within a few weeks in these examples. So in the conversation of effort and discipline, especially when it gets into all of the things that dissipate our energy, overreacting in a work meeting or with your kids or with a significant other, indulging, feeling down about feeling down, and indulging that with whether it's emotion or whether it's a third or fourth drink. You start to understand, oh, that's just masking this. That's repressing something. That's seeking escape. And it comes back even stronger the next day. When discipline is led by understanding for either right action or wrong action, when it's led by understanding, it starts to feel effortless. How much effort does it take you to not run into traffic? Over a short period of time, much shorter than people think. That's how much effort it takes to take up a discipline like Vedanta. Certain aspects of the discipline within Vedanta can feel like work in the beginning, can seem like too much effort for you right now, and so it becomes unappealing and you leave it in the buffet and it's just not something you partake in right now. Like I said, that is absolutely fine with this philosophy. It is not some religious dogmatic approach where if you believe part of it, you've got to believe all of it. That is not the case. But if there are parts that you're like, okay, there might be value in that, but feels a little too much effort for me right now. Like waking up early to reflect every day instead of here and there. If it feels like it would be too much effort, try it for a few days. And you might realize that what is great for the soul takes as much effort as not running into oncoming traffic. Takes as much effort as getting to go see your best friend. That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.